This is tough. I mean, this is the hardest, one of the hardest things about horse training. This is where I'm not sure what she'll do. Hey y'all, Nate Eicher from Eicher Ranch. Beside me here, I have a horse we call Sierra. She was bred to be bucking stock at a rodeo. Long story short, she ended up in a kill pen, and Windy Hill Equine Rescue basically took her in and sent her over here to see what I could do with her. She was highly reactive. They couldn't touch her, and she would bolt, and she was dangerous. Now we're to the point, and she came a short time ago, and now we're at the point where I'm actually starting to get on her back, and we've been on her back a handful of times now, and that's what we're gonna focus on in this session. Before we get into the session, here's a few clips of how she was when she first came. So in this session, we're going to focus mostly on the riding part of it. She's a little unpredictable yet, and when we turn that right eye, she gets a little funky and can make some pretty good moves yet. So before that, obviously we need to do quite a bit of groundwork yet before I get on her. So we're gonna roll through that, and then we'll get to the riding part. So when I go to cinch her up, she can get a little tight yet. So I really slow things down when I'm pulling the cinch, just because she feels like she has to react when the cinch, even though it's pulled really slow, she oftentimes feels like she has to react. And that's just kind of her nature and kind of what she was bred to do, is react to that. So I take it nice and slow and just really take my time right here to help her realize that she don't have to react. She can just relax to everything we're doing. Good job. Good job. I will tighten the cinch up about 3 or 4 times, just do it in increments, and also make sure the back cinch, by the time I'm done, it's up against her so it's not loose and surprising her as she's going around. So we're pretty much set as far as the cinches, and now we're gonna go ahead and ask her to move out a little more. All right, we got a Snapple. We've been putting a Snapple in her mouth, and I got one that's a little bit wider, so it fits her. So we'll see how she takes that. Again, tonight we've been wearing it in her mouth quite a bit so she can learn how to carry it. And my plan here now is to ground drive her just a bit before I get on her. All right, the reason we ground drive is to help a horse understand what steering means before you actually get in the saddle. So as she's walking around here, if I tug on this left rein, I want her to follow that feel. Now she still plays around with the bit, so you're gonna see her mouth moving some. She carries it pretty decent, but she still plays around with it some. So we're not trying to do a lot with the bit, but if there is a little bit of a tug to the left, I really want her to follow that feel. There we go, good job. There's some misconceptions as far as a bit in a horse's mouth. A lot of people think that a bit hurts a horse's mouth, and that's a misconception. How you handle the bit will determine if the horse is hurt or if it's being used to build their confidence and help them understand steering and stopping and backing up and so forth. So it's a tool that is very useful with horses, and if it's used correctly, it's a big advantage, especially with a more dangerous horse. If a horse like this goes to run off, I have a little more feel if I want to tug just a little more firm to get my horse to stop, like if I want to pull their head around. Whereas a halter, if I were riding in a halter or a noseband and a horse like this would take off, which is her nature, by the way, is to bolt. That's kind of her go-to when she gets scared, to bolt or to buck or do both. And so if I just have a halter on her head when I'm riding her around and she gets scared and starts going, I need a little more than that if she would get really scared. And that's why I introduced a bit to her. Now we might go back to a halter or a boselle or like a nose piece here in the future. But through this time, like where we're just introducing the riding part of it to her, I feel way more comfortable having a snaffle bit in her mouth. And she's doing pretty well with it. Good. So I'm going to ask her to turn left right here. We'll go ahead and ask her to trot off, and then we'll steer and see if she's paying attention. Because if I get on her back and she's not paying attention to my feel, then I'm riding at her mercy, which can be very dangerous. So if she's trotting here and I pull on this left rein, like I was gonna say, hey, can we turn left when I'm riding? Good job. Then if we go to trot and I softly pull right, we'll see if she follows that feel. Good. The alternative, if she wouldn't follow the feel, she would get claustrophobic and pull against me and kind of take off with that bit. But she's doing good. See right here, if I pull left, she followed that with a light feel. Good job. So I released her and let her just travel here. We're working on one side of her body at a time. So you won't see me pulling with both reins to try to stop her because it's too early. But we can break it down to her right side or her left side. Good job, girl. We'll do this one more time. Bend her around. Good, excellent. Then we'll see if she'll stop here. If I bend her left and right a few times. You see right there was a little jump. Good. She's still trying to figure everything out, so she's not going to be perfect with anything. But she has come a long ways. She's come. I wasn't sure I would be able to ride her, and the fact that I've been on her a few times, I walked her around. You know, the fact that she's let me do that is just huge for her, so we'll see how she does tonight. We can't assume that she's just going to be great. Are you ready, girl? Make sure everything's tight here. Might snug this up one more. I've had some people ask in the comments about her feet, and they look like they're huge feet. And that's correct, they are huge because she's a draft cross. She's bred to have big feet, and she's been trimmed. I've actually trimmed her a few times. Her front feet, her hind feet are in pretty decent shape, but she's always gonna have bigger feet. Now, she needs to be trimmed again. She's starting to flare out a little bit, but overall, her feet are in pretty decent condition. So, because she's a draft cross, she has bigger feet. Oop. There's a little jump. So we're gonna step on here on both sides and just test her. A young horse or unhandled horse, in her case, she was a feral horse. She was pretty much wild. So every day, every time I get in the saddle, I get on from both sides and move her around because I don't want to surprise her. I want to be fair to her and show her that I'm going to be on both sides. She's going to see me from both eyes. Okay, good. Ride side saddle here just to see how she'll do. Good. All right, I think we're ready to commit to working her left side. We'll see here, gonna step her around again, and then I'll sit in the saddle here shortly. And I'm just seeing how she'll be here with me swinging across her. She's a little bit nervous. She's fidgeting around, so I'll wait, and then there we go. When I get on her, I don't want to stand still. But here's what I want to address tonight so you kind of understand where we're coming from. When a horse is two-sided. So basically their left brain and their right brain, so we can train them out of this eye and then the other eye. And so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here a minute. And I'm just holding her until she kind of steps across behind. and then stops her feet. All right, good job. And then I'm gonna go ahead and step off. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain here with the eyes, when you're up above them, they can be really good on this side riding around. But the moment you go to pull this right rein and they see you out of that right eye back behind them, some horses will really spook and they'll really jump and take off because it scares them. So I've done a lot of work from Tater, my pony horse, switching eyes from on top of him. But still, when I started doing that with her from on top, in fact, 2 sessions ago, she took off with me in the round pen here. I went to switch eyes for the first time and it scared her. I mean, even with all that work, and she took off. That video is in the membership. I didn't delete it, even though it was a little bit crazy. It kind of got a little bit out of hand, but she took off and thankfully she didn't blow up, but she ran off. So I had to go back and do a little more work to help her see me and get comfortable out of this eye. She still isn't totally, so we're gonna just keep putting the steps into place. And there again, that's one of the reasons I have a bit in her mouth. I know she's moving her mouth a lot, and I might get some negative comments about that. But to me, I don't worry about a horse moving their mouth a lot early on. It's just a sign that they're still trying to figure things out. What I don't do is just slap a bit in their mouth and go to riding them. I've hung a bit in her mouth for quite a few days, quite a few sessions. So she's pretty good. She's very, very familiar with a bit, but she's just showing that she's still trying to figure things out. So I don't get too worried about her moving her mouth a lot this early on. It's not a big deal to me. It never has been. Good job. Now I'm gonna try to ride her on this side now. And this is the side she gets a little tight. We're not switching eyes here, but sometimes getting on this side, I'm asking her to step around here. Sometimes getting on this side, she gets tight. And so I have to be really, see right there? I have to be really, really careful on this side here. So this is where I'm not sure what she'll do. So I try to stay loose and just show her. Just show her it's gonna be fine. Rub on her, keep talking. And try to talk her out of her tightness, basically. But this is where it's a little bit dangerous and risky because you don't know for sure what they're gonna do. But I've put so many steps in the process with her. I've built a great relationship with her that there is a trust factor with all this. Hey, do you have a horse that you really love, but you're getting frustrated with some of the things he's doing because you don't know how to fix him? Or maybe you're kind of getting bored because you're going around the arena or the place you ride and it's just getting monotonous. Well, we have a Eicher Ranch Academy where we upload a fresh new video every week with exercises for you to do with your horse. It not only gives you something to do, but it actually helps your horse mentally and physically, where they get more functional through their body, and mentally they come to a better place and you can have a much better relationship with them. And in turn, you'll go out and have a lot more fun together. So join us in the Eicher Ranch membership, and I'll see you there. So we can work through some of these issues, even though, you know, I can't overpower her. If I were trying to come up here and overpower her, you know, you could laugh at me because she is way stronger than I am. But what I can do is talk her out of something. I can build a relationship. I can help her have understanding. And that's what we've been doing since she came, is working on helping her have understanding. That way, when things get worrisome, that she can start to think her way through things instead of just reacting and bolting. See right there, she got tight again. She thought about bolting, but she decided not to, and that was great. Good job. And I just try to keep loose up here, stay loose, and try to give her as much rein as I can, but yet I don't want her to see me out of that left eye just yet. Slowly but surely we're getting there though. And I can feel her start to relax a little bit on this right side. But this is tough. I mean, this is one of the hardest things about horse training is these moments like this, that you got to teach them how to be good with it. And it's tough because it's so risky. But on the other hand, it's really rewarding when they start to just melt and understand what you're after. Good job. Good job. So now we're gonna let her stop if she wants to stop, and start to straighten her head up a little more and catch glimpses out of that left eye with me. We just don't want to get too quiet up here. So if she wants to stop, we'll let her. So far, she hasn't really wanted to. So I'll keep moving around, keep rubbing on her, trying to relax her in every way I can, and keep making this a great experience. Good job. Keep moving my legs. The last thing I want to do is get tight on her. But our nature as humans is to come up here on a horse like this and get really tight through our body, and they can feel that. So they get tight and they're like, oh, what's wrong? Good. All right, so I'm gonna let her start to see me. There we go. She's seen me out of that left eye a little bit. So basically, we haven't switched eyes on her more than 1 or 2 episodes. So this is really new to her yet, and it's really, really important to do it right, so we don't scare them. Now when she starts going to the left, if I let her turn here, she might kind of take off a little bit. We hope not, but if she does, we just try to go with her. Try not to panic. Good. Good job. So I'm letting her go straighter and straighter. Good job. There she's seen me again. Good. There we go. She had a nice look at me out of that left eye, then back to the right. This is perfect. But you see, like when she did that, how her head came up and she kind of scooted just a little bit. It's getting better. Yep. See, right there is where I try not to panic and try not to grab her too hard. I take a hold of her a little bit to help her through it, to support her. But that's when us as riders, we want to lock up and hang on our horses. Like I did a little bit the other day when she went to bolting. The first time I switched eyes, you know, I overdid it a bit. And that's just what we do as people. We just tend to do that a little bit. So for some horses, it's just a big deal. Other horses, it's not, you know, they don't care too much. But from day one, I figured this would be one of the harder things to get her past, and that's switching eyes with the first 5 or 10 rides. And so we're right in the middle of it. Good job. Good. Good job. Good. And she's continuing to walk on her own. I'm not asking her to walk. So as long as she wants to walk, we'll just start guiding her around. There we go, good. If she wants to trot, that's fine too. Good. There we go, good. We'll see what happens here. There we go. See, that's where I have to be, when she switches eyes like that, I have to be careful that I don't reach down to try to grab that rein. Because at this point, she's so fragile yet that could really set her off. I don't think she would be too bad, but I'm just being really careful here. Good job. Good. Good. There we go. Excellent job. We're just letting her know it's not a big deal. Great job. This used to be her bad side. Her really finicky side, this right side. So if she wants to spend more time over here, I'm fine with that. If you watch some of the earlier episodes, this side was really tough for her. So that's one of the reasons I'm letting her spend a lot of time over here if she wants to. Good job. And I'm trying to trust her as much as I can as well. Good. Excellent job. Good. There we go. There we go. So now I am going to take a hold of this left rein, and we're going to switch sides now. Great job, girl. Woo! Good. Tell you what, all of this just takes a lot out of a person because you're just trying to stay relaxed. Like, it's so much mental work on my part to stay out of her way, but yet encourage her and support her, because I know we've done a lot together. Like, we've done so much together, so many steps in the process, that there's a trust factor that's built into all this. So I know that that's in the back of her mind as well. So I can trust her a bit and let her figure it out. Good job. Let's see if we can walk. Walk on this side yet? Good. And I just try to keep her loose. Excellent job. Now, so we switch from right to left, but we haven't switched from left to right. So now as she's standing here and getting more content with standing, now I'm going to just switch a little bit, and she might have forgot what I look like from that eye now. See, that's the crazy part about it. Like, a horse like this, you can't assume that they're going to be good just because we were over there 5 minutes ago. Good. That's oftentimes where we get into trouble in those first 5-10 rides, is we just get to assuming that they know and that they're going to be good, and all of a sudden they get scared. We scare them, basically, and we're too quick with them. A horse like her, if I have to walk her around like this for the next 20 sessions, I will. If that's what it takes to help her understand and get comfortable with it, that's fine with me. I want her to have understanding and really know where we're coming from. Great job, girl. Now we're going to play around with this right eye just a little bit. There we go. Excellent. There she's seeing me. Good. You remember? I am thrilled with how well she's doing with this all. This has been such a tough journey, and she is slowly but surely figuring it out. I think that's a pretty good session here tonight. So I'm going to see if I can get off of her here. Here again, I have to put the steps into place, make sure I don't surprise her. Good. All right, good. There we go. Whew, great job, girl. Great job. If you've been enjoying these episodes with her, let me know if you would like to see another series with another horse here in the future. We're not done with her by any means. We're kind of in the middle of it right now with her. Would you like to see me do another series with another horse after her, or would you rather see it where I'm going out to someone's place and working with their horse? Let me know in the comments, Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share the video. I appreciate it. We'll see y'all in the next episode.